second so those who have not attended, kindly, go through the videos. Otherwise, you will not follow the discussion, what is happening, because they are all connected. So I request those devotees who, I think some new devotees I'm seeing in this session, at least this third session. So I request them, they are there in the group. Kindly go through them, because we are logically building the topic, and it is very important. We are building one sutra, another sutra in our Japa. So in the first seminar, we discussed what exactly or what constitutes offense. If the mind is acting, if you hear something else and not the mantra, then we have to understand that we are committing offense. So this was the point we made in that. And we discussed quite in detail what is Nāma, what is Nāma, and what is Shuddhana. And in the second discussion, we further discussed more in detail that what you hear, what are the different voices you can hear of the mind. There are 16 different voices. I am hungry. That means the earth layer is speaking. I am thirsty. The water layer is speaking. So there are these 5 layers: Bhumi, Rapo, Anulo, Vayu, Kham. So these 5 layers, then the Karmendriyas and the Gyanendriyas. I want to walk. So all these voices, different voices. I want to walk to the garden. I want to walk to the sweet shop. I want to walk and chant. So there are unlimited voices in each of these divisions. So 16 into millions of different voices we hear. And all these voices, what we hear, these are the sum total of all the impressions in the chitta, which are called as samskar or vasanas. So as long as these voices you hear and you're trying to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you'll be committing offenses. That was the point we made. And we spoke about how the first 3 layers, earth, water, fire, we can break by bodily posture. And I told that I'll be discussing the bodily postures, how we should sit in a proper posture to sit and chant. Of course, today we'll not be able to cover that, because today we'll be covering further discussion in the same topic. And maybe in the next class, we will be covering that. And then the Kham and the Vayu by pranayam techniques, breathing techniques before starting your chanting, how we can break those layers. And if you master this itself over a period of years, you can see tremendous advancement in your chanting, in your ability to hear at least few mantras which will enter the heart. So last time in the last class, we discussed how the mantra has to enter the ear to the heart. From the ear, it has to reach the heart. And from the ear to the heart, there are these 16 layers, if you remember. Yes? So these 16 layers we have to penetrate. And gradually, over a period of time, we'll be developing different sutras. Today, we'll be discussing one sutra, different sutras, how we can hear so that the mantra can reach the heart. So in the last class, we discussed one sutra, how the mantra can enter the heart. What was the sutra? Anyone remembers? Raise your hand. Let us see. And how many of you are able to implement it? Which was the mantra or sutra we discussed by which the mantra can reach the heart? Amit Agarwal Prabhuji, yes. Yes, Prabhuji. I have unmuted you. You have to unmute yourself from there.
When your mind is open, your heart is closed. When your heart is closed, your mind is open.
Yeah. When your heart is open, your mind is closed. And when your mind is open, your heart is closed. Vice versa. So how do we open our heart in our chanting? What is the methodology? What is the methodology? What you will do for that?
Hear the mantra so that
No,
it
how you
reaches you.
no, you see, what will you do to open your heart while chanting? How will you apply this principle? to open your heart to chanting the mantra so that the heart is open and the mind doesn't trouble us in chanting?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
will you
that is what Prabhuji you have told us, and I have taken a note. Like, right, you have given 5 steps. First, hearing mantra, then second, mantra entering to the core of the heart, then continue the process, reach transcendental love stage, you become pure devotee.
Yes, yes, yes. I understand that. Please understand my question. The sutra is when the heart is open, the mind is closed, right? So, in the lover and the beloved, na, the lover's heart is open to the beloved, so his mind is not functioning. He forgets his to-do list. So, how this principle you will apply in your japa? What will you do for your to while chanting, you'll so that your heart is open? What will you do? What are the things? What we told,
Yeah,
what we
for
discussed?
this we have to overcome panchbhut, five things, 5 elements, then karmindriya, gyanindriya, and then mind, and then we
Yes,
will
yes.
reach that stage.
Yes, but there is based on this sutra, what we can do, what immediately we can do. This is a very long-term process. It is a very long, many years of process this is, but immediately by applying this sutra, what we can do. Abhay Keshav Prabhuji, yes. Yes, Abhay Keshav Prabhuji.
By keeping Hare Krishna mind or deity photo.
Yes, this was the answer. Suvarna Mataji, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji, same thing. To keep the Radha Krishna picture just little higher than our eye level.
But again, there is something more important here. Something more, not just we have to keep Radha Krishna picture or the Hare Krishna mantra, yes, but which Radha Krishna picture? Which our heart is
Picture we are
attracted to?
attached to.
That is very important. Which our heart is attracted to, not exactly Radha and Krishna, but you would like to keep Radha Gopinath or Radha Sham Sundar or Radha Vinod or Radha Madhav. So whichever our heart is naturally and spontaneously attracted to, we keep those pictures and we chant for their pleasure. Not that we chant to complete our rounds. So in this context, we spoke about the receiver's mode and the achiever's mode. To receive their grace for their pleasure, we chant. So ultimately, our chanting also will become completed. So this is a very important principle to break all these layers so that the mantra can reach the heart. So this is what we had discussed up till now. So I hope we are clear about this. So now today I will discuss another important, very important concept, which is the Nāma Tattva. Because in the last class we mentioned about how long it takes to break and penetrate these layers, and it's a lifetime of practice. Sadhana means it is a lifetime of practice. So in the Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Samvad in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Haridas Thakur brings out the glories of Nam, he quotes this one verse from the Padma Puran. नामेकं यस्य वाचि स्मरणपथगतं स्तोत्रमूलं गतं वा शुद्धं वर्णं व्यवहितरहितं तार्यते एव सत्यं तच्छेदद्रेहद्रविण जनताबलोपपाषण्डिमध्ये निशिपितां स्वान्नफलजनकं शीघ्रम् एवात्र विप्र. If a devotee once utters the holy name of the Lord, Namekam Yasya Vachi. So, how many times you have to utter the holy name? How many times you have to utter? Who will answer? This verse is saying how much, how many times you have to utter? Katayini Lakshmi Mataji. Yes,
Once,
only once. So, how many years you have been chanting Hare Krishna Mataji?
15 years.
15 years. So, you have chanted the Hare Krishna mantra so many times, but still we are not delivered. What is the reason?
Yes.
What is the reason? Katyayani Mataji. Huh?
Offenses.
Offenses. Yes, it's because of offenses. So here this verse will bring out that. Nam ekam yasya vachi. Or if penetrates his mind and enters his ears, which is a channel of oral reception. Smarana pata gatam stotram moolam gatam va. That holy name will certainly deliver him from material bond. Tarate eva satyam. Satyam it is mentioned. So Jiva Goswami mentions our process, he says, is Nam Grahan Vaikunta Gaman. That means we take the name and immediately go to Vaikunta. Just that's it. You have to just take the name and immediately ascend to Vaikunta. Like you take the boarding pass, enter the flight, and you're off in the sky. So just take the name and you're in Vaikunta. But it doesn't happen because we take that name with offenses. That's why. So Nam Ekam Yasya. Ekamasya. If that enters, then Tarateva Satyam. Now this name, whether vibrated properly or improperly, with correct or incorrect grammar, Shuddham va Shuddham Varnam. Like the Chinese, na, they cannot Re, na, they cannot pronounce. So they chant, if you see the Chinese chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Lam, Hare, Hare. Not, they don't say Hare. So whether their pronunciation is correct or no, or it is properly joined or vibrated in separate parts. So Vyavahita Rahitam. Vyavahita Rahitam means like Halam Riktam. These are two words, Halam and Riktam. So I'll just show you this if you want. 3, 3. It is 3, 3. 1 minute, I'm not able to see. 60. So I'll just show you so that you are very clear about this. Halam Riktam. What Halam Riktam means? So let us see Chaitanya Charitamrita 3, 3. 3, 3, what it was? 60, right? 60, yeah. So Halam Riktam. So here, Prabhupada in the purport mentions whether it is joined or it is separate. You can see here. Halam is one word and Riktam is another word. But the first akshara is Ha and this is Ri. So joining Ha and Ri, you get the benefit of chanting Hari name. Although you have chanted Halam Riktam, which has nothing to do with the words Hari, but you get the benefit of chanting Hari. And if you have pronounced Halam Riktam, you will be delivered from the potency of the holy name, therefore, is certainly great. This is the potency. Now, however, if one uses the vibration of the holy name, Tacheda, for the benefit of the material body, for material wealth and followers, Deha Dravina Janata, or the influence of greed or atheism, Lobha Pasha. In other words, if one utters the holy name with offenses, such chanting will not produce a result very soon. Nishipatam swan na phala janam janakam shigram evatra. You will not produce a result. That means if you are conscious of the body, which is the 10th offense, you are attached to I and mine. Even while hearing the glories of the holy name, this is a glory. But still you are, attached to the body. That means you are committing offense. So if one commits any of the 10 offenses, then the result will not be so. Therefore, one should diligently avoid the offenses in chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, and among all the offenses, the offense of inattention is very, very important. So let's see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur also has to say in the Jaiva Dharma about this. So there is a conversation happening between Raghunath Das Babaji and few others. He says, Raghunath Das Babaji says, chanting without a trace of Namaprad is Shuddha Nam. Chanting without a trace is Shuddha Nam. Imperfect or perfect pronunciation of Harinam is not the criterion for chanting purely. So here it is also in the verse mentioned, Shuddham Vashuddham Varnam. So imperfect or perfect pronunciation is not a criteria. Study this injunction of the Padma Puran, Swarg Khand 48-90. So he quotes the same verse. Naam ekam yasya vachi. And here you see Bhaktivinoda translates. If a devotee just utters Harinam purely, that means he should chant Shuddha Naam. Or if just one Shuddha Naam, Naam ekam yasya vachi. So same thing is there. Therefore, one should avoid offenses. So now my question to all of you, please hear my question very attentively. To go back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, how many times we have to take the name? Let us see who will answer after hearing these glories of Padma Puran. How many times? Kabir Prabhuji. Kabir Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, where are you? Yeah.
One time, Prabhu, with a pure devotional way, one time you can chant.
One time you have to take, and you have to take, what is that, when you take that naam, what time of naam is that?
Hare.
No, but what type of name it is? Namaprad, Namabas or Shuddha Naam?
Suddhanam. Suddhanam has to be taken
Shuddha
once.
Naam.
Suddhanam
Once
has
you
to
have
be
to
taken
take
only
Shuddha Naam.
once.
Only once. So all these years you are practicing, na? You are preparing for that one name.
One single chant.
So that means we can understand that while chanting, if our mind is wandering, that means we are committing offense. And that is why it takes so long. And the more you commit offenses, the more it is going to get delayed. So if you are not careful not to commit offense, then it is going to delay. It is going to delay. So this is the point which this verse is saying. Okay, now after hearing this, I will take the questions after finishing the discussion. The chanting of the Harinam may be spoilt in two ways: Samanya, exegiously, or Brahat, enormously. Chanting with ordinary exegious fault is called Namabas, and the results of chanting are delayed. Impure chanting with enormous fault is Namaprad. In this condition, only constant and intensive chanting for a protracted period is recommended. This is now we have to understand whether if there is, there is Samanya, means chanting with, only little fault. There is no trace of aparad, it is Shuddha Nam. But if there is little trace of aparad, then it is Namabas. And even with Namabas, it is saying the results are delayed. What to speak if you are in Namabarat, enormous fault, Brahat, enormously. So the only way to come out of Namaprad is constant, intensive chanting for a long period. And then you will come to Namabas. And from Namabas, after some time, then you'll come to Shuddhanam. So the journey from Namaprad to Namabas is a long, long journey. From Namabas, actually the real journey in the Nam begins. And then with the over period of time with determined efforts, you will come to that Shuddhanam. So now after hearing this, I hope you also after hearing this, your duty is clear. So he says, Vijay says, the disciple, the duty of the sadhaka is clear to me, but a deep understanding of the principles of Namaprad is needed. Kindly detail the Namaprads. So that's why we are discussing this Namaprad called as Namaprad Pramad, which is the root of all offenses. The 10 Namaprads are lucidly enumerated in the Padma Puran. So he goes into a discussion of the 10 Namaprads there. So among the 10, we are discussing now the 11th offense, the root of all offenses. That's how Bhaktivinoda Thakur presents in Harinam Chintamani. In other works, there are some other angles also presented, which are also right. It's not that one is right and one is wrong. Okay. So the same thing Prabhupada speaks in his Bhagavatam commentary to Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So in the Kirtanam commentary, Prabhupada says, while chanting the holy name of the Lord, one should be careful to avoid the 10 offenses. From Sanat Kumara, it is understood that even if a person is a severe offender, offender means very sinful person. In many ways, he is freed from offensive life if he takes shelter of the holy name. Indeed, even if a human being is no better than a two-legged animal, he will be liberated if he takes shelter of the holy name of the Lord. One should therefore be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of the holy name. The offenses are described as follows. So even if one is very sinful, one is like an animal, he can be delivered by the holy name. But one should be careful not to commit offense to the holy name. That means one should not commit the 10 offenses. So then Prabhupada describes these 10 offenses, which I have not described. Then after describing these 10 offenses, Prabhupada says, there is no way to atone for any of these offenses. That means 10 offenses. It is therefore recommended that the offender at the feet of the holy name, that means one who commits offense to Nāma, continue to chant the holy name 24 hours a day. So this is the only remedy. Constant, intensive chanting for a protracted period of time. Constant chanting of the holy name will make one free from offenses, and then he will gradually be elevated to the transcendental platform. So this is Prabhupada's explanation of how from Namabhas, chanting results are delayed. So from Namabhas, your real elevation in Krishna consciousness begins. And then you will gradually come to the transcendental platform, on which, when you come to the transcendental platform, he can chant the pure holy name and thus become a lover of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is recommended that even if one commits offenses, one should continue to chant the holy name. In other words, the chanting of the holy name makes one offenseless. So we should continue to chant, but we should be attentive not to commit offenses while chanting. Not that, we become lax and continue like that. No, we should understand this, right? And we should be careful not to commit offense while chanting. And then Prabhupada mentions, in the book Nāma Kaumudi, it is recommended that if one is an offender at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, he should submit to that Vaishnava and be excused. Similarly, if one is an offender in chanting the holy name, he should submit to the holy name and thus be freed from the offenses. So Nāma is also Prabhu. And if you are committing offenses to Nāma Prabhu, then we should ask forgiveness from Nāma Prabhu. How? By offering him prayers. So he gives example of how Daksha offended Shiva. And then Daksha asked forgiveness. So similarly, he said one should very one should be very humble and meek to offer one's desires and chant praise composed in glorification of the holy name. Ai Mukta Kuler Pasyamanam Namashtaka. So we'll be also taking the Namashtaka prayers from the next class onwards. Each class we will be discussing one prayer of the Namashtaka, because by offering prayers to Namashtaka before chanting, we are offering his prayers, seeking his mercy so that we don't commit offenses and we can hear the name attentively. And Prabhupada quotes, there are many Bhagavatam verses also which glorify Nam, especially the last verse of the Bhagavatam, Nāma Sankirtana Yasya Sarva Papa Pranasham, So like that, one should chant such prayers to become free from offenses at the lotus feet of the holy name. So that is about the Nāma Tattva. So any questions on this you have? Before you have questions, I have questions. So what is the solution to become free from Namaparad stage, which Prabhupada mentions in his Bhagavatam commentary? He mentions two things. So what are the two things? Let us see what about others. Rohan Prabhuji, what are the two things?
Ask forgiveness to Nāma Prabhu, and
how do you ask forgiveness to Nāma Prabhu
by praying to Nāma Prabhu.
What prayers you will offer to Nāma Prabhu?
To forgive from the offense.
Namashtaka.
Yes.
The prayers of Namashtaka. And then what is the second remedy?
Second is constantly chanting the Harinam.
Constant
Yes.
chanting. To come to constant chanting is also a long stage. We have to try to chant attentively our rounds. Then gradually, what stops us from constant chanting? The offenses only stop us from constant chanting. How many of you here can confide that they like rasgullas? Raise your hands. Amit Agarwal Prabhuji, you can lower your hand. How many of you like rasgullas? Yes. Vraj Chandrika Mataji. You like rasgullas, right? You like rasgullas? Yes or no? Or which sweet do you like? Which sweet do you like? Okay, we'll ask Anand Prabhu. Anand Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
which sweets do you like?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am basically born and brought up in Calcutta. So definitely
Yeah.
the sweet which you said is our favorite sweet, which is Rasgulla.
Yes, rasgulla or cham cham. So when
Yes,
you taste, you find it nectar, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. But you keep on putting one after another. The stomach has limited capacity, and your pocket also has some limited capacity,
Yes,
and
Prabhuji.
taste keeps on reducing.
Yes.
But the holy name is spiritual, and the capacity to take is unlimited because the Lord is unlimited.
Yes.
And Ananda Ambudi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam, Aswadanam. You feel that the holy name Sarvatma Snapanam. Snapanam means bathe. You feel you're bathed in nectar. You keep on bathing in nectar. Especially, when all devotees have experience when you go to a falls, a jharna, and there you're bathing, you feel very refreshing because it de-stresses you completely. And many times we spend a lot of time there. So
Yes.
similarly, if you're bathed in the holy name, nectar, so we can constantly chant, but offenses stop us from chanting. So this coming to constant stage of chanting is a very exalted stage. We should begin by chanting our regularly our rounds attentively, and then we can come to that stage. That's my point. Okay, so any questions regarding this point of Nama Tattva which I made? Any questions you have? Any clarification? Only on this point. We'll have to stick to the context of the discussion. I'm going to take questions on this point. Yes, Shaila Satam Prabhuji. Yes. Your audio is not so clear. You'll have to.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Is it fine? So probably I have one question. When they said that you need to chant one naam once, utter once.
No, your voice is not at all clear. What you can do is you type the
Hare
question in
Krishna.
the chat box and send me.
Okay. Yes.
Ashok Atma Prabhuji, yes. Ashok Atma Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So
Yeah.
whenever I commit an offense, I normally take the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by reciting Panchatattva mantra. Jai Sri Krishna.
Panchatattva mantra we start chanting before we chant the Hare Krishna Maha mantra. That is the rule. But a mentality that I'm going to commit offenses and then I'll offer prayer so that I become free from the offenses. That is not our mentality. Our this is that we try to chant attentively and definitely there will be offenses. So we should submit to the holy name, submit to the lordships that my Lord, I'm still not able to fix my mind, my chitta. Ata chittam samadatum na shaknosi maistaram abhyasiteyentu kaunteya mam ichchaptum dhananjaya. So, chitta is not fixed in the holy name. So we should submit that I'm not able to fix my heart completely. And that's why we should offer prayers and ask for forgiveness. Not that, I chant and I know that I've committed offenses while chanting and I offer prayers so that, it is taken care. No, that should not be our attitude also. Is it okay?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So that was that. I mean, till now I was doing that. I mean, I will correct myself.
Yeah. First, you have to chant the Panchatattva mantra, and there are no offenses in the Panchatattva mantra. And then we have to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. But in the Hare Krishna mantra, there are offenses which are mentioned in the Padma Puran. That's how it is.
Thank you.
Okay. Abhay Keshav Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, well, initiation we have taken a vow to chant minimum 16 rounds. My question is,
yes,
if we
minimum 16 rounds.
My question is, Prabhuji, if I chant minimum 16 rounds, then is it comes in category of constant chanting, or constant chanting comes after this stage?
We have actually taken a vow. 16 rounds means you have to understand that you have to chant the 16 rounds pure holy name, Shuddha Naam. Are you getting this point? "16 rounds of the Shuddha Naam of the holy name." So this 16 rounds, if you are able to chant the Shuddha Naam, then it is enough. Then you will, throughout the day, you will be Kirtaniya Sadahari. You will be preaching all over the world. So constant remembrance is required. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, vismartavya na jatachat. So we have to work on how we start chanting attentive rounds and come to the point of chanting one attentive mantra, one attentive round, 4 attentive rounds, build down to 8 attentive rounds, build down to 12 attentive rounds, and then build down to 16 attentive rounds. So then when you build down to 16 attentive rounds, then you start getting the taste, and automatically then you will find the time that I want to chant more. So we should not stick to that 16. As time goes by in our practice, we should try to increase it to 20, 24, 32, and then Ekadasis we should increase like that. Ultimately, we have to get taste Nam Ruchi, and then it will be Kirtaniya Sadahari. So pure devotees might be chanting also 16 rounds. You are also chanting 16 rounds. It's not the same. Pure devotees are chanting the Shuddha 16, Shuddha Nam. And that's why they are able to preach all over the world. So there is difference in that 16 figure, whether that 16 rounds is filled with only Aprad or that 16 rounds is filled with only Shuddha Nam. So that difference we have to see. Is it okay?
Yes,
Kabir
thank you so much.
Prabhuji. Kabir Prabhuji. Yes, Kabir Prabhuji. I have unmuted you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
While chanting, maybe one time chanting, not one round, one time chanting, maybe the pronunciation, everything may be perfect. Subsequently gets diluted. How do we improve upon?
That today we will learn one sutra to do that. We will learn that.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, there is one more question in the chat box. Hare Krishna. My question is regarding uttering pure name. Regarding uttering pure name once will deliver the soul. So does this mean uttering one word of the mantra or the whole mantra or 16 rounds? No, once. Once the name. Hare Krishna is also sufficient. Like Draupadi called, Hey Govinda, in pure surrender, like that. So that is how we have to understand that. Okay. Okay. So having understood the Nama Tattva, we'll move to the second part today. Today we are actually beginning the Nama Pramada discussion in the Harinam Chintamani. And today I will be discussing one sutra, how we can try to chant one attentive mantra. Okay. So this is the Harinam Chintamani Nama Pramad, inattention while chanting. You can see the result of inattentive chanting. Krishna's mercy is fully flowing 100%, but you are thinking to do things. You're using a mobile, you're talking, you're doing other activities. So all leakages are there. And final result, not even one drop is coming out. So it should not be like that. So in the Harinam Chintamani chapter 13, Haridas Thakur begins this discussion. Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Bhaktagan, Yadera Prasada Kari, Nama Sankirtan. Glory, glory to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Glory to his devotees. It is by Lord Chaitanya's mercy that I chant the holy names. Then Haridas Thakur mentions that pramad is also an offense. Inattention as an offense. Inattention is also called an offense. He defines this in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th verses. Haridasa bole Prabhu heta sanatan arata gopala bhatta dakshina brahmane शिखाले अप्रमादे श्री कृष्ण भजन प्रमादे के अपराधे करिले गणन. Haridas Thakur said, Haridas bole, O Lord, Prabhu, you taught to Sanatan Goswami and while traveling to the south to Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Heta Sanatan Arata Gopal Bhatta Dakshina Brahmane, while he was in the South India Yatra. What you thought? That one should not be inattentive in worshipping Lord Krishna. Shikaile apramada Shri Krishna bhajan. Pramada ke aparad karile ganan. Inattention is counted as an offense. So if you are inattentive while doing Krishna bhajan, that means if you are deity worshipping, doing deity worshipping, even when you are reading Bhagavatam, even when you are hearing Bhagavatam in a class, if your attention is here and there, then it is, it is neglect. If somebody, if a child lovingly comes to the father, father, see this nice picture I've drawn, and the father turns in loving reciprocation to the child to see, but then his attention goes back to his computer, then the his attention has turned away from the child becomes upset. We all have experience as parents, right? So then, where to Sanatana Goswami has taught? It is here. Lord Chaitanya said to Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Eka anga sadhya kahe sadhya bahu ang, nishta hoile upajaya premera tarang. When one is firmly fixed in devotional service, nishta hoile, whether one executes one or many processes of devotional service, Eka anga sadhya kahe sadhya bahu ang, the waves of love of Godhead will awaken. Upajaya prema tarang. That means when our concentration is one pointed, naishtiki, that means there is no, in the chitta, no rajas and tamas. And our mind is focused, one pointed. Then that is Namabhas chanting. And then very quickly, you will be floating in the waves of love of Godhead. Premerata rang. So this is what Mahaprabhu tells to Sanatana Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shiksha. First, one should abandon pramad, inattention. Then faith in the practice of devotional service will take birth within him. So this faith is nishta, firm faith. So I'm just showing you the Chaitanya Charitamrita verses. So these are the angas. Shraddha Vishata, Visheshata Priti, Srimurtir Angri Sevana. With love and full faith, one should worship the lotus feet of the deity. That means while worshipping the deity, one's attention should not go here and there. Srimad Bhagavatarthanam Asvado Rasikesah Sajatyashaya Signe Sadhu Sangha Swatovare Nāma Sankirtanam Shriman Mathura Mandala Sthiti. So one should taste the rasa of the Srimad Bhagavatam with Rasika. Have the association of Sajatya, Snigdha, who are sadhus, who are very elevated and who are endowed with a similar type of affection. And one should chant the holy names without any offenses. Among these angas, the holy name is the most important. Taramade Sarvashresht, Nāma Sankirtan. Then in the next verse he says, Dhuruadbhut Viresmin Shraddha Duryastu Panchake Yatra Swalpopi Sambandha Sadhyam Bhava Janmane. Dur difficult to understand. Adbhuta, wonderful. Virya, the power. Asmin, in this. Shraddha Dhure Astu. Panchake, in the above mentioned 5 principles. Yatra, swalpa, little. Api sambandha, connection. Sadhyam, for those who are intelligent and offenseless. Those who are offenseless, immediately they will attain bhava. So those who perform these 5 limbs, one who are having firm faith, one who don't commit offenses, one who are offenseless, they will attain bhava. So that is the point here. Then he quotes this Ekanga Sadhya, which we already studied. So this is how we have to understand. Now text 4 of the Harinam Chintamani. Anya prateji sada namalay, kabu name prema nahi hoyate uday. Avoiding all other offenses, one may regularly chant the holy name and still not attain pure love for the holy name. Tabe jani pramada name te aparad, prema bhakti sadhane te karyache bhad. I know this offense is pramad, inattention. It blocks the attainment of pure devotional love, prema bhakti. So if you're avoiding all other offenses and yet you're not achieving Krishna prem, that means you're committing the offense of pramad, which is a great blockage in attainment of pure devotional service. So these are the 5 verses of the beginning of Harinam Chintamani Nāma Prat Pramad. So here I'm going to take you to one Japa Sutra today. The Japa Sutra is 1 mantra, 1 bead. How we should chant our rounds very attentively. I hope every one of you have your bead bags. Everyone have your bead bags here in the class today, because we are going to practice this. How many of you have bead bags? Let me see, show your bead bags. You have to come to this class for bead bags. Hopefully always on your asana you should sit, so that we can, try to, use the best use of the bad gain. This is the online seminar, that's why. In the online workshop, we do it practically, these exercises, but online is a little difficult. So, but okay, now let's see what Prabhupada says. Krishna conscious movement means that we are teaching our disciples how to think of Krishna 24 hours. So this is the answer to Abhekesha Prabhu. If you're chanting 16 rounds, you should be able to think of 24 hours Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness means you're 24 hours, even in your dream, you're having dreams of Krishna. And the simple method is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the process. We have got this bead bag, and within this bead bag, there are beads. So I hope you all have your bead bags. And I hope in the bead bag, there are beads. Okay. There should be beads in the bead bag and not any other thing. Not your keys to the cupboard, which is very dear to us. Okay, then what Prabhupada says? So we chant, we capture each bead and chant. So please note this very carefully. We have to capture each bead. I don't know whether my video is seen to you all. I will on the video. I will on the video so that, no, video is on, but I will stop sharing the screen and show you. You have to capture each bead, means each bead you have to just, just like a camera, you take it still and capture the image. So you have to capture this one bead. That means while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that one bead you have to capture. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is one bead capturing. Then only you should go to the next bead. So generally what happens, we will tell you that now very soon. We capture each bead. And there are 16 names in one bead. So the whole bead has 108. 108 into 16 is 1700. Prabhupada says it is 1728. In this way, our disciples are advised to chant at least 16 rounds. That is our duty. It takes about 2 hours, and after that, we are engaged in so many other business. Somebody is typing, printing books, somebody is going to sell books, somebody is collecting subscriptions, somebody is cooking for the temple. That means 24 hours engagement. So in this way, our inmates, our members are always engaged. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always you should be engaged. That is Krishna consciousness. So here Prabhupada in this lecture is mentioning chanting, japa should be done early in the morning with full concentration, preferably during the Brahma Muhurta time. Concentrate fully on the sound vibration of the mantra and pronouncing each name distinctly, and gradually your speed in chanting will increase naturally. Focus on the sound vibration, hearing the mantra. See, while uttering the mantra, you can commit offense that you are not attentive while uttering the mantra. But to hear the mantra, you need attention. To hear the mantra, you need attention of the mind. But while vibrating, if your mind is not focused, it doesn't matter. To hear the mantra, the mind has to be, focused. Do not worry so much about chanting fast. Most important is hearing. Put your attention in hearing. A devotee should always be grave and silent, which means that he only discusses topics relating to Krishna consciousness. Yes, spend your spend your time chanting and reading, taking Krishna Prasadam, and automatically the tongue will come under control. If you sincerely engage 24 hours daily in devotional service according to the instructions of the spiritual master, chant daily 16 rounds. So you're chanting your daily 16 rounds, but you're engaged 24 hours. That is Kirtaniya Sadhari. Attend the Aarti ceremony of Lord Krishna. Associate with the devotees and adhere strictly to the regular principle. Then Krishna will reveal himself personally to Swayameva Spuritada. So here is the mantra card I have put here. See, what happens is, when you're chanting, are you able to see me in the video? I just want to know because I'm sharing the slides, so I don't know. Yes or no, you can just type in. Are you able to see me in the video? Yes or no? You can type so that I know. Yes, okay, you are able to see me. So here you please see the screen. Chanting in goodness means you capture this one mantra and just chant that one mantra while this mantra is captured, while this one bead is captured. You have to only capture one bead. This is chanting in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But what happens generally, our fingers also move and our mantra which is vibrated with our tongue moves. And to take 16 names, that takes time. And our fingers can move fast. That is because of the mode of passion. Because of the mode of passion. I give this example, once I generally don't chant when I'm sitting in the car. But I was sitting in a BMW car and a sannyasi was there. I had to drop him to the airport. And the driver was driving at 100 kilometers per hour. And then the sannyasi was very busy, so I did not discuss. Usually I discuss philosophy or some questions if I have. But since, he was very busy and he was relaxed, so I did not want to disturb. So then what to do? I know I can't read because the car is going at a very high speed. So I decided, okay, let me chant, which I should have not, So when I started chanting, the sannyasi immediately tapped the driver and told, increase the speed. So straight from 100 on the highway, he increased to 140. So moment he increased the speed, my chanting speed also increased. Hare Krishna, And I was wondering, why did I do that? Because of the mode of passion. So when you start chanting, what happens? Your mode of passion becomes activated. The mind becomes active. To keep the mind in the mode of goodness, you have to hold on to that one bead. Capture that bead until you chant the 16th name. Don't move your bead to the next. Lock this bead here. Lock it here at the end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To do this, to chant in the mode of goodness, you need tremendous spiritual potency. Goodness, to be in the mode of goodness, it requires really, a lot of, inner strength, spiritual potency. To just hold on to that one mantra, that one bead, requires great, immense spiritual potency. So please work on this. And don't think, maybe the previous mantra I did not chant properly. Let me go back to it. All this talk of the mind, no having this talk. Just focus on that hearing of that one mantra of that bead. So I tell this, many years back, devotees in one of the temples did a survey. They secretly recorded their japa. And the devotees whose japa was recorded were very senior devotees, 20 years in the movement, all Bhakti Shastri teachers, doing a lot of congregation preaching, brahmachari preaching. And they had this Hare Krishna mantra written here, and the serial number was 1 to 108. And they heard the recording in slow motion, and they ticked whether they were chanting all the 16 names. Because when you chant all the 16 names, then it is one bead, one mantra. Then next. So they found most of the devotees did not chant 108. It was 95, 96, 80 sometimes. And some were skipping, somewhere Hare or Rama or something like that, quickly, trying to chant quickly. One has to clearly and distinctly pronounce the mantra. Prabhupada says, each name distinctly, pronounce each name distinctly. And then he's saying gradually your speed will increase. So I give this example, locking of the gear, ratchet and Paul mechanism. You lock your mantra, your bead here. You just lock it here till you finish the 16th Krishna. Till then, don't move. And then start with the next Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is called as locking. And when you start doing that, you will become very impatient, because the mode of passion is going to trouble you. It wants to push and go ahead. But that is what you have to stop that pushing. You have to stop that pushing. And this requires tremendous, tremendous spiritual potency. Please mark my words. It requires great, tremendous spiritual potency to do that. And once you start doing that, then slowly you will start, trying to chant one attentive mantra. And then gradually, when you start putting in that one attentive mantra, then one attentive round. Within that one attentive round also, you will not be able to hear all the mantras very attentively because the mind will wander. Then slowly, slowly, your concentration, your focus, your mode of goodness, as it will increase, you'll be able to hear more the mantras attentively. Then you can build on to 4 more attentive rounds. Like that, 6, 8, like that, So, so try out like this, So today's this sutra, please, take your beads out. Take your beads out from your bead bag. I want to see everyone. How to view in the gallery, or maybe. Yes, yes. And open your beads. Yeah. And you can just on the first chant the Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And as Prabhupada is saying, capture each bead and chant one mantra. And make sure you don't move your fingers. Lock. You can see my finger is locked here at the end in that bead. And just chant on this one bead the entire 16 names of the Hare Krishna mantra. So let us do it together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm just chanting 8 beats, not the entire mantra, just to show it how to do it. So please try to practice this sutra. One mantra, one bead. Only one bead has to move. And this is a great struggle because the mind always is in the mode of passion. And if you start working on it, it is a great battle with the mind because the mind wants to push and go ahead. It can't be peaceful, calm. If you have come to the mode of goodness, you are very close to transcendence. You are almost liberated. So the mind will always go between passion and ignorance, raga and dvesh, like this, oscillating and keep you locked in material existence. But if you come to goodness, you have attained transcendence. So please practice this method and try to implement along with the Japa Sutra. If your heart is open, the mind is closed. So tomorrow is Ekadasi. Try to attentively focus on this sutra and try to chant attentively. And if you have any questions or clarifications about this second aspect which we discussed, you can raise your hands, and that's how we'll end today's discussion. Any questions, any clarifications about this second part which we discussed now, about the sutra, about the pramada, yes. Katyayani Lakshmi Mataji, yes. You have a question? Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, about the second sutra, one bead at a time we have to chant, as you said, means. But when we are chanting one bead at a time, but our mind gets concentrated on that point that whether we are moving it correctly or not. So how can we concentrate really on hearing that Maha Mantra?
Very important question. Very, very important question. So the mind is such a tricky thing that instead of hearing the mantra, it will slowly start going to, oh, please check, man, whether you're only on that bead or you're gone to the next bead. So this is an art. This is an art that you hear, and initially you focus that, you're not going ahead with the bead. And once you have learned this art, that you have trained your mind, you have programmed your mind in such a way that until I finish the 16th Hare, I am locking the bead. This is the subconscious programming you have done. So when you do the subconscious programming like this of the mind, then the conscious mind can hear the mantra. So initially it is a conscious thing which you are aware that you lock the bead. But once you program the mind, it goes into the subconscious and it is part of your habit. And you're not no more conscious. You're always, it is in the subconscious. It's part of your habit that you don't move till after you have uttered the 16th name. Because initially you have programmed it and you have put your conscious effort. But later on it becomes subconscious, and consciously you should hear the mantra. And I'm telling you something, I'm confiding you. Once I came to know about this in 2005 and I started working on it, it took me at least few years not to skip the beats because the mode of passion is very strong and it will happen. And I used to implement, and after a few months or few days, I used to see that again it is skipping. Then I used to again, oh, I become conscious that it is. So I used to put in a little effort to see it is not happening and put most of my effort in hearing. And over a period of years, it has become part of my inner programming, the sub-programming in the subconscious mind. And now I focus more on hearing. So like that, we have to work. It takes quite a lot time to implement this sutra and really see that you don't, that one attentive mantra, attentive, you capture each bead. That's one thing you have to work on your habits. Don't go to the temple and take darshan of the Lord with your mobile cameras on. Take pictures with your mobile. Capture the deities in your heart camera. This is more powerful camera. So darshana means, dha means dhyan. And you have to dhyan for a shana. For a moment you have to do that dhyan. And if you're focused, then you capture that image of the deity and put the impression in the heart. And if you do that, the Lord will be pleased with you and the Lord will reveal, and all the day, throughout the day, you will remember the Lord. But because we don't take actual darshan and we take darshan through our cameras, the picture remains in the camera. Maybe the mobile camera will go back to Godhead, but you will not go back to Godhead. I'm just joking. So that is, focusedly capture that bead. And then slowly it will become part of the habit. And then slowly, you'll be able to overcome that. Very good question. Thank you very much. Is it okay? Is it
Thank
clear
you,
to you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Any question? Kabir Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. During the initial stage of my chanting, I experienced this jumping of the beats. Initially I used to keep
Yes.
the Lord or Sri Prabhupada chanting, one round of chanting. I used to hear through audio and keep a beats and chant. By the time one round gets completed in the video, I would have written twice, I would have completed the beats round. So it took almost 1 year to control that skipping of beats. I just want to realize that now, yes, by God's mercy, it is coming to the regular understanding.
Yeah. Of course, see, one beat Prabhupada's chanting, you hear, but you are moving the beats. But as a regular method, you cannot hear Prabhupada's chanting in the background, and you have to, the soul has to, speak his voice and hear the mantra. So many devotees, oh, let me hear Shuddha Bhakt Prabhupada's chanting and then move my beads. That is not allowed. That is not allowed. Now, only for just counting the beads, just to come to the mode of goodness, because you have to be in tune with Prabhupada. Yes. So that is a good way, to slow you down, to slow down. Yes, to slow down. Yes. So that is good. And yes, it takes time.
Now I don't hear Prabhupada chanting. Now I started sitting in front of the deity and start using the bead and chanting. Initially, for the first year, to get a practice of the mantra in the tongue, I used to hear that.
Yeah, as a practice you can do, not as a regular.
Not as a regular Prabhu, not as a regular.
Yes, very good,
Hare
very
Krishna,
good.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, Amit Kumar Prabhuji. Yes.
Prabhuji, if by mistake I skip a bit and I realize the moment I skip a bit, should I come back and again?
Don't worry about it now. Just don't go back to ignorance again. Don't go back and let me chant that round. No. What has happened, happened. Just now focus on goodness now.
But then that round of 108 bits is not completed since I have skipped one bit.
Forget all that buts, ifs. You have been doing that for many years now. You just focus on now. Fix on hearing now. The course correction is that what previously has happened, in especially pilots, pilots, they have a trajectory from one point to another point where they have to go. And even if there is a 1 degree tilt in the trajectory, they can land in some other destination. That's how it is. So once they know that they have gone out of course, they just come back to course. So they will land at the right destination. So once you have come to know that, no, I am skipping, you just now for that present bead, make sure you don't skip and work on the present. Don't go into the past or into the future. Mark that
But
point.
Prabhuji, I can.
Wait. Don't be in a hurry. Hold on. This is the problem. And no buts. Never use the word but. This but is a negative statement. So we know that, we in our chanting, we have not, done our, all the 108. So what initially I used to do is for many years, I used to chant some extra rounds to compensate for that 16. So you have to hold on till I also speak. So once you become conscious, then you'll have to do something about it. So gradually we need to work on it. Okay?
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes, Prabhuji, clear.
Satisfied?
Yes, satisfied.
Any other questions anyone has? Any other clarifications? Okay, so I'm just sharing with you all. Okay, I'll just end the session. So thank you very much. Shri Nam Prabhu ki jai. Shri Harinam Chintamani ki jai. Hare Krishna.